Hello and welcome to episode 111 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And the entity is behind you.
And you are our lovely audience for today. You are
entity,
here.
make them speak.
You are with us on this day.
Yay! Happy day. I don't know what day it is for you.
Yeah, you do. It's Monday.
Well, you know, it could be any. It could
No, you watch this the day it comes out.
Entity, make them
You
watch
watch it the
watch
second it comes out.
Yes.
The day it comes out immediately, right?
Entity, make them watch it ASAP. Hello.
Hello.
111, 111, and the devil
111.
drinks
Yeah.
with you.
There it goes down the hatch. The devil juice.
How we doing? What we up to? How we feeling?
How we feeling?
How is February treating everyone? This is going to be quite deep into February, isn't it? By the time that this comes out.
Probably. Well, we're recording this on the 9th. It's coming out on the 12th.
Yeah. So,
Man.
well, halfway through February, Jesus.
This video comes out halfway through February.
Good God. I know.
Feels like February
goodness.
just started, right?
Hey, when you were young and your parents are like, oh,
This
time.
year went so fast,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, I had to go to school every day,
I know.
so nothing goes fast for me.
Yeah. And here we are, 30 years old.
30 years in.
And it's insane how quick it's going. We had to do a survey the other day. The government sends out like random surveys to the house here, and to be fair, they were like, if you do this survey, we're going to give you each a £10 gift voucher.
£10 gift voucher.
And they did.
Yeah, and we just claimed the money straight away.
Yeah.
Just took it straight in the bank.
But we had to tick the box that said we were 30.
It was like, no, it just said type your age in, and I just had to type 30, and I was like,
yeah. You don't think of the implications of that, do you? Of aging
To be
and
fair,
having to say it out loud.
I will not swear. I don't really care about getting old.
No, I don't. I mean, I do. I don't care about getting old. I don't care about being old. Listen, I've been an old soul for a little while.
Same.
You probably even longer than me.
Yeah, I would say you. I think we grew old in different ways.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
I think now I am like the old. I'm
Yes.
older than you.
Yes.
Like in terms of like.
Definitely.
I do just like
Yes,
my house.
yes.
And the things around me.
Yes, and
and
I do
my
too.
friends.
But I think I like my house more out of mental crisis reasons as opposed to anything else. I haven't left the house in like 3 weeks. So.
No, that's a lie. We went to Tesco the other day.
True, I did go yesterday. I went to Tesco yesterday.
Yeah,
actually.
that wasn't yesterday. It was the day after.
Ah.
The day before. Just after D&D.
Yeah.
I usually take Margaret out to Tesco after D&D.
Yeah, my weekly excursion.
Yeah, to Tesco. And
to
it's,
Tesco.
11 o'clock, so no one's there.
So no one's there. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, I think for me, I like to just be at home. Like,
Yeah.
I could go out for a coffee and stuff like that.
yeah,
and that'd be about it. I don't want to go shopping. I don't really like doing out like that. But the thing is, it's because I go out to, like, the post office and I go out to the shops.
Yeah, you leave the house multiple times a day.
like,
yeah.
I go out to just do bits and bobs here and there. And that's, like, my
Leaving
outing.
the house, yeah.
But
Whereas
you don't really do that.
I don't do that at all.
You don't do any of that.
I literally don't do that at all. There was a period over Christmas where I hadn't left the house in like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, which I understand isn't healthy, but I like my house.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hate being around the general public.
Yeah.
I like people. I'm a big people person, but I am not a big general public person. Oh my goodness. So everyone's like, get a bully cam, and we simply could not.
Can't.
But I wish more than anything we had a bully cam just then, so you could see what just happened.
So like we have the camera there, and then behind it we have the steel fence, just a very flimsy steel fence, but just to keep him out because he'll get tangled under the wires and destroy the podcast. Which he has brought down the lights on the podcast before. You just didn't see it.
Yes.
But he's got like a bed, and then I like put the cover over the bed and like tuck it under, and then I put a pillow, and then I have another blanket that I put next to that. And instead of trying to like wrap himself up in the blanket,
he likes to be under blankets.
He has to be under the blankets.
He likes to be physically under a blanket, like
to
his
fall
whole
asleep.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just. As soon as he starts the podcast, he tries to get
I know.
under the bed.
He gets under the bed.
He
so
gets, and then he starts flipping the bed over.
The bed gets flipped,
and then it smashes into the steel fence. And then it hits the camera.
Yeah.
Look, he is a.
Oh,
Have you ever played World of Warcraft? And if you have, you ever done a dungeon with an affix? Like it's something to like make the dungeon harder for you.
Dog
so
affix.
It's like, we got dog affix.
Yeah, we got the dog affix.
Every time we do a podcast, we got the dog affix.
Agreed. You know what? We've been talking recently I'm getting to the point where filming here is really getting hard for me. Like, I don't have a proper seat to sit in. My back hurts. I'm old.
She's 30.
I'm 30. Setting it up. Like, we're literally in our kitchen. Like, we did some renovations like a few years ago in our house. So the whole of the downstairs is basically like one big room. And it is big, but we're in like the dining room and the kitchen's like right there. So there isn't actually a lot of space between us and like the kitchen island, which means there isn't a lot of space for if the dog is being the dog.
Which she will do.
Which she will do. That's inevitable.
Yeah. So you were thinking about moving it upstairs.
We've been talking about where to move the podcast to.
But then we wouldn't have the brick.
I know. But, we could we're thinking of getting like a neon sign, like with the Podblast logo on it. I think that would be really cool. And just moving it in, like, we don't have many spare rooms is the problem.
Because we both work from home.
We both have a separate office each. And our bedroom actually is 2 bedrooms, but we took one of the walls out, so it's one big, massive bedroom now. So we're thinking of moving it into your office, but not until like we're a little bit more financially stable, I think. So that's something.
Because doing like movements like that like costs money. So
it definitely
just costs money.
Yeah, definitely it will.
We'd have to keep the seats. We'd have to get a new table for the podcast.
Well, I was thinking I'd really like some armchairs. I think it would be great if we could just sit in some armchairs.
Right.
And I could just have like I don't know, like a holder or something for the iPad, so I could just read off the iPad.
Oh, you'd probably get that.
You know what I mean? Like something that's still money.
You probably need big arms.
Yeah, and we'd probably have to paint the walls or like do you know what I mean? Buy some new lighting. So it's
maybe yeah.
It's not like earth-shatteringly expensive, but it's still money we don't have
still
right
money,
now.
Yeah, it's still money that, you just don't have to spend.
So one day, and you will witness it, we'll move from here. Mark my words. We will move from being in our dining room.
One day. One fateful day.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to have it in a slightly different space because it's not the most practical space.
I think that's it. And we play D&D at this table too.
Especially because we play D&D here and we eat here.
And we eat here. So, because we're old and we eat at the dining table,
We didn't used to. We used to just like eat. I remember when we were getting this done, when we were getting the renovations done.
Oh my God.
We basically had no downstairs of the house.
We had no downstairs because every single room was being worked on.
So for about 2 months, we had to just eat every meal in bed.
We had to eat our meal. Jack would cook us a whole meal. We'd have like a whole Sunday dinner and then we'd eat it in bed, and it was the worst. It was the worst.
And then it was the worst when we didn't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
So then it was just like you had to just buy every meal was a ready meal.
Yeah.
You just had to put it in the microwave, and then we'd go and eat
it. In the bedroom. And there was a point because I've been we worked this out. I've been self-employed for 5 years now.
Yeah, for about 5 years.
So I was self-employed before Jack. I've had multiple different businesses, and there was a point where we moved my office into the front room. Do you remember? So our living room, before we took the walls out,
because we didn't use it,
was just my office.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we lived like that, how we didn't have a front room.
But that was when we had the house done.
Yeah.
Then because you moved into the garage.
The garage, which is now my office.
And I moved into the old bedroom.
And
then we knocked the bedroom up.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
God, it was a mess.
It was a mess. It categorically was a mess. Yes, absolutely. How did we get onto that?
I don't really know.
I don't know either.
But
how did we?
There's some law.
Yeah. There's some law. Yeah.
There's some LDB law.
So I think it'll be really nice for you guys as well to see like how the set changes over time. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's changed not quite a lot, but we've added bits here
changed.
And there. We added these in.
Yeah, it definitely has changed. And the lighting's gotten a bit better, and we got the garland. But I mean, really, it hasn't, to be honest.
No.
So I think it would be nice, change of scenery, somewhere just more practical. Honestly, somewhere more practical.
Yeah, I think maybe going in my office is the thing.
Yeah.
With 2 armchairs.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep you updated. Again, this isn't going to be for a few months now, but yeah.
I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah. A couple of updates. I painted my nails.
Margaret painted the nails. We went. There's a nail shop near us that she wanted to go to, and we drove to it.
It was gone.
It's gone.
It's moved.
Because you wanted a specific.
I wanted a specific. Hey, you'll have all seen it. The magnetic nail polish is.
I don't know how many.
No, you certainly would have.
Some of you would have seen it. Some of you would have.
It's the magnetic nail polish. And it's made a comeback. I mean, all of my 90s friends, you'll remember back in the day, the magnetic nail polish. But there's like trends going around where you make like love hearts in them and stuff like that, and it's really cute. I wanted that.
Very cute and sweet.
Didn't you have it? But
you ordered it.
Yeah,
And it arrived today.
You know what? I had to go back through some of our old YouTube videos, our thumbnails for some reason, and I saw in one of the thumbnails my nails were painted, and I was like, "Man, my nails look so much better when they're painted."
Yeah, it costs it.
I just haven't had time to do them.
Of course, putting funky colours on your nails is going to look better than just skin coloured
Yeah,
nails.
yeah. So I painted my nails.
Just pink and white nails.
Yeah. I cut my fringe.
Yes, you did.
I've cut my hair a little bit today. I've done a whole body MOT. I bought a new bra.
You did?
Hey, listen. Oh my God, bought a new bra. If you're a bra wearing friend and you haven't had your bra measured in a long time, get it measured. Measure it. It's super simple. You can find it online. I bought a bra from an independent company called Molk in Scotland.
Yes.
And they hand make all of their bras, and they're LGBTQIA plus supportive and disability friendly, and ran by a disabled person in the community, and it's the comfiest bra I've ever worn.
Yeah, it's all about just like support and comfort.
Yeah,
isn't
it's literally all about comfort. Like the owner, they made a point to be like, I'm in a wheelchair. I couldn't ever find a bra that was ever comfortable for me because I'm always in a certain position in my wheelchair.
Sat down in my wheelchair.
So they're like, I'm just gonna make one myself, and so they did.
And
very oh my God, the most size inclusive I've ever seen ever. So yeah, just a shout out to Molk. You might have seen the
when you make each bra, they can be as size inclusive as you want.
Well, exactly.
They can just be whatever you need.
Yeah, well, exactly. And they have a TikTok account where they physically show, like, it's like a team of like 5 people, and they cut all the fabric together in their studio and they sew it all together. It's really nice.
That's really nice.
So hey, a little bit pricier than what I would normally pay, but oh my God, worth it. So worth it.
You said it's the comfiest bra I've ever had.
It is the comfiest bra I've ever had, and it's the best fitting bra I've ever had. Maybe TMI. Left boob, so much bigger than the right boob.
Yeah, you said that when you came down. You can't actually see it when you look at them.
I can.
Obviously, because she came down, she was like, "Look at my
look
boobies.
At this. Look at this.
Look at my boobies. One is bigger than the other." And I was like,
"Yeah, oh my God, so much." And I know that's very, very normal, but I've never noticed it because all my bras have been shite.
I mean, just by looking at them, don't look any different.
Are you looking? Huh? My eyes are up here, buddy.
They don't look any different. Maybe to you, obviously, because you are you and you know.
I can definitely see.
So,
but hey, if you have wonky titties, that's totally normal.
Totally normal.
So don't you worry.
Ain't nothing wrong with a wonky pair of titties.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's like having 2 different sized feet, isn't it?
Yeah,
I guess.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, like having a foot half size bigger than the other.
Oh yeah, I suppose like half. Yeah,
super common.
Yeah. Hey, what size are your feet?
Yeah, tell me what size your feet are in the comments.
Yeah, that's it. I've had a full body MOT. I went to the doctors, got some blood taken, had a freak out, but
yeah.
All good.
Well, you didn't.
I nearly did.
But that was the same as when you had your vaccine.
Yes. I'm a big baby.
Anytime anything like that happens to Margaret.
Yeah. Big freak
I'm like,
out.
it's gonna be okay. And I come and sit with you in the waiting room, and then you come out, and then you get in the car, and it's when you get in the car,
it's when I get in the car, I start freaking out a little bit. I'm really bad with needles. And everyone's like, "Oh, you have lots of tattoos." Not the same. Not the same. Any of you who have tattoos, you know it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same at all. So I'm very, very scared of needles. It's not actually the needle. It's the insertion that really fucks me up.
But the person that did it for you was very, she was
really nice.
It's okay to be like freaked out. It's very common. Everyone's freaked out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And she walks you through it step by step.
Yeah, because I sat there and I was I literally was like, "I'm sorry, I'm freaking out.
I'm freaking out a little bit.
I'm freaking out. I'm wigging out.
I'm wigging out a little bit.
Look, I'm wigging out. I'm losing my shit a little bit.
I'm losing my shit. That's okay though.
That's about it.
Really.
You did a great job calming me down. You know what? I never used to let you come into the doctor's office with me. Don't know why. I used to be like, wait in the car. But the past few times you've come in with me, and it's made me feel so much better.
Yeah. I don't mind.
So
I'm only gonna sit in the car and watch a YouTube video.
True. So yeah.
Just small thing that happened in my life.
Go on.
Got back into gold on Valorant.
Yeah.
So got back into gold on Valorant, and I did it the first time, and I was like, that might be a fluke, so I'm gonna make sure I do it again.
Yeah,
and I did it
easily. You did easily, I think.
I was 3 times I was 1 game off, and I just got given a terrible set of teammates. And
it happens.
We lost, and then but I stayed steadfast.
Yeah.
And I completed my achievement. I'm now gold again.
Yeah, you're better than a gold player, definitely.
Yeah,
you're definitely better. You're definitely like platinum, definitely, 100%.
I've learned to. I think the reason why I've started to win games now is I picked 4 agents, 1 in each category,
and you can alternate and you can fill.
I'm always the flex player.
Yeah.
I pick last. because there'll be an insta-lock jet.
Mhm.
Somebody will want to play an initiator that they like. People like to fucking.
How about Instalock KO?
People like to like style on Omen or like
Yeah.
style on fucking Cypher and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just let everyone pick, and then I just flex.
Yep.
And it means we're never left short.
Yep.
It means we aren't going to get flanked.
Yep.
It means we aren't going to go on a site with no smokes.
Yep.
So I learned Omen, KJ, Phoenix,
Yep.
and Sky. Sky's a little bit of a weak pick now because she's changed. So I think I'm going to change that to Gecko.
Yeah.
Because
We
Gecko's
were
really
talking
good at
about
the
this. Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever want to just learn four agents, one in each category, and just do those really well.
Or you could be me, and you could only play one agent because you're scared of change, and that agent could be KO.
Yeah.
And that's all you play. I am good with KO now, though.
Yeah,
I will say,
yeah.
I am good with KO. I rely on his utility as a crutch too much. And the problem is, Jack is now too high above me in rank, so we can't play together anymore.
No. So I'm having to make a Smurf account.
Yeah, I'm going to
Which,
make a Smurf
feels
account
really
to play
bad.
with me. Yeah.
Feels really bad because I don't like Smurfs.
Yeah.
Smurfs are the worst. But
And, like,
I do just want to play with Margaret.
I don't know if any of you know. I'm sorry for all the Valorant talk, but I'm sorry for all the fucking chit chat. No, I'm not. If anyone plays Valorant and you know, Jack is gold 1, I am bronze 1. Can he not play with me because he's gold, or can he not play with me because I'm bronze 1? If I was bronze 2,
Yeah, is it because I'm two complete levels
would he
above
be
you?
able to play with me?
Or
Because,
is it just because I'm gold and you are bronze?
yeah, the thing is, me and our friend Wabs, we started playing yesterday together because he's bronze 3, and we were playing together and trying to get me into bronze 2, and man, I got 3 RR off bronze 2.
I think it was also eye-opening that when you don't play with me, the lobbies are
terrible.
Unbelievably easy.
Unbelievably easy, but everyone's terrible.
Unbelievably easy, but they are like unbelievably like more well-equipped for you.
Very much so.
You are
my God.
definitely playing with people sort of around your skill level.
I am definitely playing so much better in those lobbies, but at the same time, that comes with, I don't like communicating in games. You all know why. All my female friends or female adjacent friends, even if you have a slightly feminine voice, sometimes if you go into voice chat, you're going to get fucking crucified the second you speak.
Do you know what? Good thing about Valorant is there's a lot of women that play.
There is. Yeah.
Like 99% of lobbies, there is at least one.
Yeah.
One female.
Yeah, there is.
Adjacent person in there.
Yeah, there is.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. But I think there comes a time in Valorant where you can get as good as you possibly can get.
Yeah.
If you don't communicate with your teammates, you will not rank
and you know
up.
what? You were like, Jack was coaching us, and Jack was like, you need to communicate. And in one of the games, we won by a long shot. We communicated, and then we won because we communicated.
It was just making even a semblance of a plan at the beginning of the round, and then asking your controller, can you smoke this so we can just take this fight? And as soon as you did that, you just walked through everywhere you wanted to go, you just walked through.
Yeah. So I was 3 RR off. Now I am 60 RR off.
Happens. Sometimes I have days like that. Some of the players that I saw your teammates making was abhorrent, as I explained as yes, it does.
So, sorry for all. Does anyone know if I get into bronze 2, will I be able to play with Jack again?
But if not, I'll just have to play with Jack.
Yeah, unfortunately so. So yeah, that's our life. That's an update.
It's unpopular opinions today?
Yeah, it is.
It's unpopular opinions time.
It's unpopular D&D opinions.
It's unpopular D&D opinions.
Listen, I'm gonna say it. We have 2 submissions out of the 15. I know it's so scary to send your unpopular opinions in. And again, we call it unpopular opinions. We always preface it with this. Just because we disagree, just because we have a different opinion to these, or if we agree with them, if the things you're saying are true to you and they work for your table, then do not listen to anything we say.
As long as the opinion isn't hateful and
and toxic and
gatekeeping,
exactly.
then I don't mind. But as soon as it becomes that, then your opinion
then you're free.
Then your opinion is just
meat's
wrong.
back on the menu, boys.
I'm gonna gobble you up. I'm gonna gobble you up, and your opinion is completely 100%, no matter of fact, it is wrong.
Yeah, agreed. But again, honestly, these are all opinions and we're all entitled to them. So if you have any, send them in our submission form below.
Submission form down below. Google form in the description.
And while you're looking at the description,
like the video, hit the bell, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't.
Yes.
We're here for a long time, not just a good time, but we're here for both, to be honest.
You have no idea. Honestly, you guys have been interacting so much recently. Like,
Yeah.
you have no idea how much a like helps. You have no idea how much a comment helps. Oh my God.
We've gained like almost like 200 subscribers just in the last month or something like that, which is, a lot for a YouTube channel.
Which is a lot for us.
YouTube channels grow
very
fast
much
slower
so.
than TikTok channels. We've got almost 40,000 people following.
I know, that's insane.
Which has also had a massive boom recently. So thanks to
thank
everybody who's new here.
Thank you so much.
We love you so much.
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so this first opinion has been sent in by Hobgobery, and he goes by he, them.
Thank you very much, Hobgobery.
Thank you, Hygo. What?
Hygo.
Thank you, Hobgobery. What the fuck?
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry. I do know what happened. I started reading the actual submission.
Go for
Hi,
it.
Jack and Mags.
Hello.
I think that Warlocks should be intelligence casters, as the base game needs more intelligence casters. And if you read the player's handbook description of the Warlock, it is obvious that they were supposed to be intelligence casters, but it was changed at the last minute. I heard it was because people prefer Warlocks being charisma casters. Pardon me. Other than that, I do not like how most of the OP multi-class builds contain Warlock, because it's so easy to multi-class into, because it is a charisma caster. And if it was an intelligence caster, that wouldn't stop it, but multi-classing into Warlock would at least be a bit more difficult.
I don't know if that is the reason it is so easy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I would also believe it would be even better if the casting mod for Warlock was dependent on the patron. I know that would be quite difficult to implement, though. Keep up the good work. Well, that's what they're doing on D&D.
Yeah. They're doing something similar. You can you can basically choose like your packed boon or something like that, and it's tied to that. So you can be wisdom, intelligence, or charisma.
Exactly.
Which I think is brilliant.
I agree. Again, we will always say like more versatility for all of them is great. Now, I don't think the charisma thing is the reason why they're so easy to multi-class into. To be fair, I think that has an element to do with it, right? But listen, you multi-class into Warlock once, and you get everything.
But you get your subclass at first level.
Yeah, exactly.
You get access to Eldritch Blast at first level.
Exactly. Like, you don't get pact boons and you don't get invocations, but, you get your subclass. And let's be honest,
which is huge.
Hexblade.
Yeah. That's
like...
most of the time what people do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and, making a deal with some sort of Eldritch being, devil or demon.
It's cool.
Is cool.
All right.
A very popular, trope.
Yeah.
And that is very thematic with Warlock.
Yes.
So it's very thematically easy to do.
Yeah.
But it's also very mechanically easy to do.
Exactly.
You are right in an aspect, though, because, bards, paladins, and other sorcerers are charisma-based.
Yes.
And so 3 of those, it's an easy dip in, and it also helps all 3 of those in different ways.
Yeah.
Especially paladin, especially sorcerer.
You do see a lot of bard multi-classes too as well. Like, I do understand, because the thing is, I always dump intelligence. Listen, I'm wise, but I'm not intelligent. Intelligence always gets dumped, so I would never be able to multi-class into something like Wizard Artificer, for example. And I always stack charisma, but I don't know if everyone does that. I don't know if that's like a common thing.
Yeah.
I feel like charisma is often the dump stat.
For some people, yeah. I think that rogue should, how monks get, it's all about dexterity, but then their saving throws and things are tied to wisdom.
Yeah.
I think subclasses of rogue, or just the rogue class in general, should be more tied to intelligence.
I agree, because the thing is, with a rogue, you want to stack your intelligence because you're always doing investigation checks for traps and stuff.
So it's just add some, Wizards of the Coast should add a few different things to intelligence.
Yeah.
I know that they're bringing in this whole, you can do a blinding shot and you can sacrifice an amount of, sneak attack dice to make people make a save.
Yeah.
If that save was based off your intelligence modifier, then it just makes the class.
I agree.
You outsmart your enemies.
Yeah. I agree.
Hiding from them and outsmarting them and ambushing them and stuff like that. It's very thematic with rogue. I think. So
what is rogues tied to then?
Dexterity.
But what's their if they have a casting mod? Because isn't Dale our Soul Knife rogue in Jack's campaign at the moment? Isn't Dale's charisma?
because she wants it to be.
Oh,
because she's a charismatic character.
Understood.
Like
Understood.
the only one that actually forces you to go intelligence, I think,
is Arcane Trickster.
It's Arcane Trickster.
And that makes you go intelligence.
Yeah, because it's you pick from the wizard spell list.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
and,
which makes sense.
You know, and very thematic.
Yeah.
But I think just like making it, because apart from dexterity, there isn't anything that you need.
Yeah.
Yes, you can argue Constitution for health.
Yeah.
And things like that. And yes, you can argue
yeah.
Wisdom because it's the most common saving throw.
Yeah.
But like, I think they should tie more to intelligence to make it more worthwhile for a rogue to put intelligence in.
I agree. Because really, again, what are you stacking the intelligence as a rogue for? It's literally investigation checks, right?
Or if you're an Arcane Trickster.
Yeah, like literally that's the only thing. And so it's not a big reward for having to put a lot. You know, your stats are really fucking important.
Oh yeah, no matter what, in every single class.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the fact that it's, you know, with Warlock.
Yeah.
It is now being changed. It is now being changed.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's
depending on your pact boon, you can choose charisma, wisdom, or intelligence, which is going to open up some fucking sick multi-classes. Because then you're going to be an intelligence-based warlock that could dip into wizard,
that could
dip into artificer, things like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's great. You could be a wisdom-based warlock and then dip into druid, dip into cleric.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just becoming like, and I agree, like, and you theme it like, your patron is intelligent, your patron is wise, your patron is a silver-tongued devil.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's
great.
The versatility that, you know, you think patron, and I think a lot of people go to evil, right? But that, you know, that it's been proven time and time again. It doesn't always have to be that. And I think D&D has recognized that, and Wizards of the Coast, I suppose, and they're opening it up. So I don't think that this is an unpopular opinion. I think a lot of people agree that they should have been intelligence casters, not charisma casters.
Yeah, I just think they should be. I think they should just be the versatile one where you can
agree. I
totally agree, because like their circumstances are completely different to everybody else's circumstances.
Yeah.
You know, like yes, a wizard gets its fucking smarts from its books and things like that, and it's sorcerers, and yes, sorcerer could be a constitution. We can go down that again, but like with warlock, it is down to the patron.
Yeah, agreed.
So just making it charisma sort of doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank
you so much, Hobgobery.
Very
Thank
good.
you for your submission.
I like that.
Thank you. All right, this is the last submission. This has been sent in by Royal Leo, and he goes by he, him.
Thank you, Royal Leo.
Thank you, Royal
For
Leo.
your submission.
D&D should be the gateway and not the end goal. I started out with my first TTRPG experience being D&D 5e, a one-shot with my family, and then a short-lived campaign with some friends from an art school. And don't get me wrong, I did really enjoy myself. Afterwards, I was part of several Pathfinder 1e campaigns, and now I DM for Pathfinder 2e, and might I say, I thoroughly enjoy it significantly more than D&D. Don't get me wrong, I have played more D&D, but I have found that D&D was a good start for me rather than my preferred system to play. I am also looking into other systems such as Call of Cthulhu, Delta Green, and The Witch Who Survived. I actually came across people who refused to try other systems and only ever tried D&D. I just don't get it.
I literally watched a TikTok by, what was it? It's like D&D Up North or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Today, about this exact opinion.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, I completely understand what you're saying, and I completely agree. It is the gateway.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
There isn't really anything that comes after for a lot of people.
Yeah.
People don't really, like, branch out to try Pathfinder, try Call of Cthulhu or anything like that.
Yeah.
They just stay with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that is for a lot of people, learning that was fucking hard enough.
That's all that, you know what? That was going to be one of my biggest points. Yeah.
Like, for me, thinking about, I would love to go to my local game store and just get in a one shot with a bunch of people who know how to play Pathfinder 2e.
Totally.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I know I'd pick it up really quickly.
Yeah. Whereas I'd
find it really exciting.
I would really struggle. I really struggled learning D&D, and I honestly think, I don't think this is an opinion, obviously, but I think this is so personal to each person. Like, and I agree, there is so many TTRPGs, and we say it all the time. If you're not enjoying D&D, look at other TTRPGs. There's so many systems. You know, Pathfinder 2e is the most comparable, I would say.
I wouldn't even say comparable. I would say the most popular
one outside
from
of it.
D&D 5e.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like the thing is, there's so many people who, you know, like really clever people who've made up systems.
Yeah.
And,
yes.
you know, there's millions of systems.
Yes,
I feel like people are clicking onto it a little bit now, because I think people like Critical Role, who are releasing
their own
Shadow Heart.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
So it's Shadow Heart, which is their
something blade.
like very Shadow Blade, maybe
I don't
very like robust TTRPG system, which I think they're probably going to play next campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
And they've released Candela Obscura, which is a really like it's just a D6 based system. You just need fucking D6s. It's so much more simple.
Yeah, definitely.
And like for a lot of people, I think they just want to roleplay and have like the aspect of like chance of a dice,
exactly,
which is fun.
Exactly.
But like maybe they don't need a D20, a D12, a D10, a D6, a D8, like all these things to like bog them down.
Yeah.
Like they just want to, but they don't know.
I think that's it. And I feel like they refuse to try another system. Like I'm a firm believer of like, you should try things, right? Listen, I can't follow my own fucking advice.
Yeah.
Because I've not tried anything outside of D&D, and I think it would be very difficult for me to try something outside of D&D because of the way my brain is. I take in information in a really certain particular way that I have to curate myself. I can't learn from just reading the source books, for example, or the wikis. I have to regurgitate it in my own way, which is very frustrating and very time consuming for me. And that's why I wouldn't want to learn another system because I'm too lazy.
Yeah,
I'm too lazy to do it.
And the thing is, for me, like, I care so much more about my story.
Yeah.
And, like, things like that.
Yeah.
I just play 5e because it's what I know.
Yeah,
like, and it's what I was brought up in TTRPGs.
Exactly.
Like, watching
and
learning.
Like, of course, D&D is the gateway, right? D&D, I fucking hate to say it, it's owned by a huge corporation. It's owned by Hasbro.
Yeah.
They have money for marketing. They have money to be able to get themselves out there. It's been around a really long time too.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's the gateway. And I can't help but feel like if some of these smaller developers of these games
had the money,
would D&D be the gateway still?
Like,
I don't know.
I think, and I've said this before on the channel, I would actually enjoy Pathfinder 2e far more.
I think you would, yeah.
I've watched, Dungeons & Dragons deep dives, D4, Colby, like, make builds and, like, talk through the system. And, like, I have a basic understanding of how it works. Probably not as much as I need to. But, and I've watched, like, the builds and how much more diverse they can be.
I think you really... and to be honest, I think I would enjoy Pathfinder 2e as well. But it's very daunting to me, the idea of learning a new system. And again... I think because we're so settled in our group, like, we're probably going to play with this group forevermore. This is probably it. We may gain an addition, we may lose someone, but this is it, I think.
I agree.
And because we're so comfortable in this group, why would we try shake it up like that?
And, I'm excited for one D&D.
Me too.
Like,
I'm
I
very
can't wait
excited for one
think,
D&D.
And, I already have it's because it builds on the foundation that I already know.
Yeah.
I don't have to learn a full new system. I only have to add the changes.
Yeah.
I only have to think about the changes to the systems.
Yeah.
And the changes are good, and it is looking really good.
Yeah.
But I agree. If you've ever thought about another system, give it a go. Find people who know it. Join a group of it who are willing to teach you it, because there are probably systems out there that are better for you.
Definitely.
If you are a mechanical minded person who really likes the mechanics of Dungeons and Dragons, there are far more in-depth systems mechanically out there.
Certainly.
That don't gloss over some things that shouldn't be glossed over.
And if you prefer the roleplay aspect, there is also systems that really lean into the story aspect too.
Like Candela Obscura.
Yeah.
I think, I've only watched a little bit of it, but I do think it is because you aren't bogged down by so many fucking checks and this and that and stats and numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
D6-based system, something is a failure, something is a success.
Yeah.
And things happen if you have too many failures and things like that. It's a fucking such an easy system to learn. I watched one D&D Shorts.
Yes.
Do a breakdown of the system. He did it in half an hour.
Yeah, well there you go.
And it was brilliant. You should watch that if you want to play Candela Obscura. And it's just all a system is for a lot of people is a vehicle for storytelling.
Yeah,
that's what
agreed.
it is for me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, agreed.
So if you don't want to if you're getting fucking bored of it and you want to try a different system,
if you have any pain points in D&D,
try something else.
Totally. There's so many, and I wish we could suggest more. But we are a D&D podcast. We play D&D is the game we play. Unfortunately, we don't know enough of other TTRPGs to be able to to refer them, I guess.
Mm.
So if any of you know, if any of you have any other TTRPG systems you've played that you really like, leave them down below.
And I've seen people like making in the Discord groups for Pathfinder 2e.
Yes.
And people are like, I'd be really interested in learning how to
exactly.
play. And like, there's people who are like willing to help. I'm not offering up the services or anything like that, but I know Sherry's played fucking Pathfinder for
2e.
years.
Yeah.
She's interested
Very
in teaching
knowledgeable,
me. So
yeah.
if you've got any questions about different systems, like put them in the Discord, or if you see any games in the Discord, you know the DMs in this community are going to be patient with you.
Oh my god, 100%.
And like help you if you don't understand.
Yeah, 100%.
So give it a go.
Yeah, totally.
Just give it a go.
And you know what? I don't think this is an unpopular opinion. Honestly, I don't think this is an unpopular opinion.
Coming more to light these days.
Totally.
There are other systems out there.
Yeah, and I think it's so personal. I completely understand if you don't want to try anything other than D&D, because I don't want to.
Learning one was enough. It was hard enough.
It's not that I don't want to. It's just I physically can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Royal. That's a great one. That was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Royal Leo. And I'm so glad for you that you tried all the other games. Yeah. All right, these are all Reddit. These are all from the Reddit. So here we go. You're ready. All right. This one is, I don't think the Marshall caster disparity is actually true. I just think some DMs are bad at the game. If you ran, on average, 4 to 6 separate encounters with a short rest between each one, many casters like Wizard or Druid or Cleric would suffer from expending spell slots over time to handle those. Meanwhile, Marshals would thrive over those short rests. Some DMs I find will create more of an MMO encounter, where you do 1 to 2 fights and they're a big epic boss who maybe have some weak mooks. Mooks? Is that... What's that?
Don't know.
That sounds insensitive.
Does sound like a slur.
It sounds like a slur.
Sounds like a slur.
Mooks.
I
have no idea what that means.
Shall I have a look?
Yeah, can you just Google that really quickly before we've just dropped like an absolutely horrible slur? Oh God.
No.
I saw your brow furrow. Watch everyone in the comments be like it means beef. I don't know. Go on.
So I think mooks is originated in the RPG scene.
Oh, okay. Oh, does it like mean minions?
A foolish insignificant is a mook.
So like a mob, like a trash mob.
Maybe like a trash mob or like a minion or something.
Okay, right. Okay. Who maybe have some weak minions. Let's call them minions.
Just in case.
Yeah. That's literally ideal for casters. A single scenario to blow everything. The easiest way to nerf a caster and buff a marshal is spread encounters out and make the casters actually expend their resources. Otherwise, it's always going to be unfair that a marshal has a pool of 5 for his resources and a caster has a pool of 25. If the requirement was only ever 6, the caster was never going to feel it.
Yeah, okay. And then the caster knows this and then doesn't blow all of the stuff until the moment that it actually matters. And then the moment that it matters, they blow everybody out of the water because they have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Being able to choose when you blow something completely wide open is more powerful than just being good across the... It's like in World of Warcraft. Like, Beastmaster Hunter.
Yeah.
It's not the best class because it just does really consistent damage because it has no cooldowns. And then the fucking classes that are always the best are the ones that have those 3-minute absolutely monstrous like burst windows where they use all the cooldowns. If you've got a pool of extremely high level things and you choose when to use them, as long as you are at least a little bit smart
like
with this.
It doesn't like, you know, the whole like, oh, just do more encounters, but it's like, and I understand holding on to resources is tough.
Yeah.
Being able to resource manage is a skill, definitely. But, you know, that doesn't mean that they have to use them every single time.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing.
You know what I mean? And, like, the thing is, if you were playing a game with that, I would like to think that the casters have some form of option.
We had to clap out for the dog because he walked into his water bowl.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I don't know what we were saying.
We'll get back onto the topic of... You, like...
Oh, no. I was saying,
yes.
And you would think that a caster would have a failsafe. If it was something like 4 to 6 separate encounters, you would just adapt to it and you would just learn, oh, I can only use cantrips here. I can only use, depending on level, like first levels, I can get a weapon or something like that. I can take a feat that allows me to use a weapon or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like, I just don't know how you can compare, like, hitting things with a sword or a sword and a shield or your fists or throwing a dagger could ever compare to something like the contingency spell.
Yeah.
You like the versatility of being able to be like, if I drop under 20 hit points, I immediately cast polymorph on myself, and it's just like you have so many options.
Yeah.
You have so many ways to deal with every situation.
Yeah.
You can do as much damage, but you can also do a million other things.
Yeah.
The whole point is it's the versatility is just so overpowered.
Honestly, even just like a low level spell like haste, even being able to just cast haste on yourself, at all, to have the ability to do something as huge as granting an extra action.
An extra action?
Like, that is wild.
Unbelievable.
That is wild. And the thing is,
and doubling movement speed at the same time.
I actually do agree with the second half of this. Like, just get your casters to expend more of their resources. Put them in situations where they have to. But I don't necessarily think that correlates exactly to more encounters. You know what I mean?
I think that is the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you just have one encounter in a day, the fucking spellcaster will just splurge. Like, or a paladin, they'll just walk up and just smite it to death.
Yeah.
I understand that's the way to deal with it.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that you're saying that, it's like you're realizing there's a problem. The way that we deal with the problem is like, so there is a problem.
Yeah. The fact that, they're saying like, they're saying, I don't think that it's true, and going, well, the best way to deal with it is this. It's like
so you literally
you're acknowledging that there is a problem.
Yeah, so there's a problem. It's like, yes, in most games it will not even rear its head. In most games you will not even see the divide.
Yes, I agree. Because, it is in the higher levels, let's be honest.
And we've, like you said, it's in the high levels, and also we've said so many times, most games don't get to that area.
Yeah.
And like rogues are super great at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
A lot of games don't get past 5th level and things like that.
Yeah.
So I just don't think, if you have somebody who knows how to optimize it and knows when to release their things, that's when it will rear its head.
I agree. I very much agree. And oh my God, resource management is a skill. It really
is a skill,
really is. Like, and you have to be good at it. But and again, I in this modern age of D&D, I know no tables, none who do 4 to 6 separate encounters.
No.
I know 0.
No.
And hey, we have a big D&D community. I don't know a single group who do that, unless they're doing like a one shot type thing. Because I have seen like a kind of brawler thing that has like multiple encounters in one, right?
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of it, and they're playing at level 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, like, the landscape of Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPGs has changed into those less combats, like more dangerous combats, like spread out.
Yes.
And the system was built more closer to when it was more like that.
Indeed, yeah, agreed.
Like 10 years, a decade ago.
Yeah, agreed.
When, we were coming out with 3.5 where it was very much like that.
Yeah.
So, like, the game was built like that, but the game has changed, but the classes haven't changed.
Yeah,
so that's why we've got it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. He's fine. He's fine.
I keep thinking he's licking. I think
he's fine. Would you prefer if we moved him there so you can just nope? So you can have like line of sight on him.
Nope.
And just
no, thank you. So yeah, I think it is a problem. You've even acknowledged it's a problem because you've had to find a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as prevalent as most people think.
Yeah.
I agree. But it is there.
Yeah, I agree. And and I also agree that the way to deal it is just try to get your casters to expend more resources. But I don't necessarily know if that always correlates to 6 combats in a day.
Wizards will just cast firebolts in the ones that they know aren't the big boss fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they'll probably know the big boss fight's coming, so they'll just like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, indeed. All right, this is the next one. These are all from the Reddit. Oh, do you hear my tummy rumble?
Oh, sorry, the chili's on.
Big tummy rumble.
The chili's in the slow cooker.
Does anyone pull up I'm wearing pajama bottoms. Pull their pajama bottoms all the way up to their fucking nipples.
No.
Trust me, they're up here.
They're up there.
They're up here.
It's tucking underneath the boobies.
Oh yeah, I'm tucked. I'm tucked right now.
I'm tucked in.
I'm tucked and I'm ready.
So
this next one is that players acting, physically attacking, or simply plotting against other players is fine if the character would do it. Not allowing PvP doesn't actually help anything, as the characters will still find a way to screw each other over.
Who are you playing with?
You know what?
Who the fuck are you playing with?
Who's hurt you, OP?
Who's hurt you? And all of your players, clearly.
I'm sorry, who's hurt you?
Like, they'll find a way to fuck each other eventually. It's just like, why will they do that?
Why will they, our group wouldn't do that.
We can pull silly little pranks on each other and things like that, but why are we plotting to fuck each other?
Yeah, I know.
Like, aren't we supposed to be plotting against the bad guys and stuff like that?
Agreed,
Aren't we
agreed.
supposed to be
I
a
was
band
supposed
of
to be
people
like,
that are friends?
yeah. You know, despite our differences, despite our shortcomings, we work together for the greater good, as opposed to like scheming. Me when I'm scheming. Me in my scheming era.
Me when I'm scheming. I just think like if you want PvP, fine.
Oh yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
if your players want it, don't ban it. But I think when we literally like kill each other's characters and things like that.
when like if you're playing in games where all of the characters are making a point to try to fuck over each other, think about why.
Yeah, think about why is
that happening?
Do we not have better things to do? Do we not have quests to succeed on?
If that's the type of game you play and you enjoy it, then that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But
doesn't sound fun to me.
Doesn't sound fun to me either. No, definitely not.
I agree. If you want PvP, if there's a conflict that comes to blows, I'm not gonna be like, no, don't do it. Like if you want to like punch each other and like out your frustrations about like your conflicts and things like that, as long as it doesn't get
out of hand,
and as long as it doesn't get to the point where we cause like irreparable damage to each other's characters,
exactly,
in terms of like death.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we heard this. Our friends, they were playing in a game, and one of them cast like an area of effect spell and hurt one of the other players. And in game, the character was like upset from what I could judge from what they told us, and I was like, I am too much of a metagaming piece of shit to have my character be like that.
Yeah, I know.
I am too metagaming. I would be like, you had to do it. It's fine.
I mean, the thing is, you probably did have to do it anyway. Like, I don't really care about like being caught in a spell.
Yeah, and
as long as I'm not caught in it every single round or something like that. As long as it's like, I'm going to cast Fireball because there's 4 enemies and you.
And you're in here and you have a high chance of making the save.
And like you've got your advantage token up and I know you got a good dexterity saving throw, so
I'd be like,
it.
do it. You know what I mean? There's been times where we do get caught in the fray, but I don't think that's PvP.
I don't think that's PvP,
no,
but if you do genuinely want to just like fight each other, like, because there is reasons, you know, like just for fun and for conflict.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Yeah. But as long as we understand that it doesn't go any further than, like, you can't, like, kill each other. And you can't gang up on one person and things like that.
And as long as you're willing to, if it does go too far, being able to, above game, be like, okay, this is too far.
This is where it needs to stop.
Yeah, I think outright banning PvP, I understand why people do it. But I also think it can be done in the right way.
It can be done very, very tastefully and thematically. And
yeah.
as long as everybody's, you know, knows when it ends and when it does end, you like adhere to that.
I want to know what the backstory to this is.
I want to know what the like.
What happened here?
You know, players are gonna fuck each other no matter what.
What happened?
I don't fucking care. It's
what
just
happened?
like, why?
I want to know.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Why?
All right.
Strange comments.
Yeah.
On to the next.
This is your first. Oh, do we think that's unpopular?
Yes.
What even is the opinion here?
The PvP. I don't think the PvP being banned
doesn't help anything. No, I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. I don't know. This is a bit of a weird one. I don't know.
It's tough because I just don't like they're gonna find a way to fuck each other over eventually. I don't
think that's the case.
I don't. Think
and I'm sorry if it is. It shouldn't be.
I don't think that's the case.
It shouldn't be. All right. This next one.
Smelly.
This is your first DMing experience shouldn't be your own homebrew. Pick up Lost Minds of Phandelver or something, even just run a few sessions of it to get used to the act of DMing before you try to figure out encounter balancing and writing mysteries. It's easy to get ahead of yourself and fumble the basics in the process.
So, because my experience was I homebrewed my first ever thing, like, I'd be like, well, that's not the case. But I understand that that's probably not the case for everyone.
Yeah, I once again, I think this is such a nuanced thing. And you have to think, the first game we ever played in, and every game, barring maybe one, have all been homebrew worlds, right?
And I think that good advice is this. I think good advice is pick up a module.
Yeah.
See if you like it first.
Totally.
Because you might put loads of fucking effort into world building and then realize you hate combat. Or you might put loads of effort into combat and then realize you hate world building.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fucking hell, I just did all of that.
Yeah.
Like running Lost Minds of Phandelver or running just like a short little one-shot
to
see if you like dungeon mastering first is a far better way to do it than doing what I did. I just got lucky because I do love dungeon mastering.
Yeah, and I honestly, I also think like it's one of these things where first time DMing is different to first time ever interacting with the game too.
Yeah.
Like you were able to pick it up fine because you've been playing for about a year and a half prior.
Yeah, and I'd, watched an entire campaign and a half of Critical Role.
Exactly.
And, just like picked it up as I went along.
Yeah, and everyone's experience is going to be so different. You have to think someone who's like an accomplished writer, someone who is practiced in creating worlds, creating characters, telling stories. Like, you're probably naturally going to have a better time putting together something homebrew.
Putting together something cohesive in terms of a story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't necessarily relate to like the mechanics of it.
No.
But you know, everyone has to learn the mechanics somehow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very torn on this one because all the games we've ever played in have been homebrew games, and
if I were to give a first-time dungeon master some advice,
it would be, if you are going to run a homebrew world, try to stick to like the actual basic rules as well.
I would say, if I was to give advice for first-time dungeon master, I would say run a module.
Yeah,
I think that's good advice, because the thing is, you can just be like, I'm just gonna run 5 sessions of Vandelver. We'll see if we like it. I'll see if I like, you know, like rub my own sprinkle on it, or if I like sticking hard to the story. I'll see if I like combat. And then after that, I'll homebrew, because the thing is, you can do a short Vandelver, a one-shot or something like that, with no strings attached, to see if you like it. And if you do, then fucking fill your boots. You can homebrew.
See, my advice would be, just do a one-shot. Like, doesn't have to be like an actual published module. It could be a homebrew thing, but do a one-shot, because the act of DMing, listen, it's so different when you're actually doing it. It really is. And the actual act of doing it, you could have all the knowledge. You could have, you could know everything. You could be a really experienced player. You could get in the DM seat and just not like the act of doing it. That's
not
what
like
it was
everyone
for
looking
me.
at you.
Oh my God. Having everyone look at you was, I'm not kidding you, one of the hardest things for me.
Knowing when to move people along, knowing when to, like, you know, like, that's okay, we're getting a little bit like, you know, like, you do have a air of authority at the table as a dungeon master.
And it's like a social thing as well.
Yeah,
it's being able to pick up on like the social like cues, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a lot. Being a
it
dungeon master
is a lot. It
is
is a lot. It is a lot.
It's a lot. And it does take a specific type of person.
It does.
To not only want to do it, but enjoy it when they do it.
And that's why, you know, you hear about the forever DM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's such a common thing. But yeah, I think my advice would be just try one shot first.
Yeah, try a one shot.
Yeah, try one shot.
Try Vandelver, because it's like just the beginning arc of Vandelver, because it is short.
Yeah. You know, I don't necessarily agree with your first time DMing experience shouldn't be your own homebrew, because that's hypocritical. If it would be hypocritical for me to agree with it.
Yeah, I think shouldn't be homebrew isn't fair.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, you know, you could homebrew a one shot.
Yeah, but that's my point. Exactly. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I do think doing a module is better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
If you fucking hate it, you've wasted no time. All you've done is read the book.
Yeah,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree, but disagree at the same time.
Do you think this is unpopular?
No. I think a lot of people would agree that doing a module is definitely the way to go.
I don't know, because then you hear other people being like, if you run a module, you're not a real fucking DM.
And they're idiots.
And they're wrong. Yeah, they're wrong. Very wrong. That's objectively wrong.
Just a stupid opinion.
That's wrong.
That's just a stupid opinion.
But, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I think this is unpopular. What do you think? Do you think that's unpopular?
I think that's popular. I think telling people to run a module is a very safe, very smart way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like, I guess if there would be like a commonly given advice, I guess it would be that, right?
I think that is popular.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'd like to know what you think.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think?
Tell Entity, mate, and tell me.
Tell me now, Entity.
All right, this is
the Whispering Sweet Nothings.
All right, this next one. You know what? I'm reading this now, and I don't know if we've had this already.
We might have.
Healing spells should have two casting times.
Yeah, we have. We have
had this, haven't we? We have, yeah.
In combat and out of combat.
Yes, yeah. One that's a 10-minute. Yeah, we have had this.
We have had this.
We have. Sorry. You know what?
Sorry.
I remember looking at it yesterday and being like, this sounds familiar, then being like, nah, we definitely haven't read it. I looked at it just then, I was like, we definitely have.
We've done, probably at this point, we've done close to 1,000. Probably. We probably have. Done close to 1,000, read out 1,000 different things.
Oh, yes, yeah.
There's probably going to be a duplicate in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's probably going to be a duplicate.
Well, you know what? There you go.
Take that one out.
Gone. It's going to be 14.
I think it is popular.
Yeah.
I think it would be popular.
I agree.
Doing the two like in combat, it has this action. Out of combat, it has something else. And I think it would be popular.
Yeah, agreed. Sorry. I think this was actually in our last Unpopular Opinions
It might have been.
video, so I don't know when that was. A few weeks ago
now. Probably.
Who knows?
Yeah. or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. All right. This next one is hot take. If you give your players a wish, honor it. I've seen multiple posts in the last few days of people essentially saying, hey, my players got or they used a wish and wished for something that I don't like. How do I creatively not honor what they wished for? Stop. Just give them the wish. Don't pull the rug out from under them in some backhanded way unless you've explicitly discussed a thing with the players and they're okay with it. Wishes are typically really difficult to get hold of. If a player happens to get one, just let them have it and loosen your grip on what you think should happen and how you want the story or the world to go or things in general. If your player wishes for something that breaks your game or your story to some degree, that's okay. That's D&D.
Because of my pessimistic, very unfaithful, like I've seen, like we've just said, thousands of submissions. I've seen some people ask for some terrible
dog shit things. However, take our own experience, Jack. Take our wonderful little group.
Okay.
Take the wish that you gave Matthew.
Okay. If I'm talking about my group, and I know what my group are like, and they wouldn't, wish for the BBG to die, like to choke on the porridge They wouldn't wish for mass genocide on.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would wish for like something that is important to them to come true.
Exactly.
Something important to them to be set up to be able to like do something.
Yeah, which is exactly what Matthew did when he got his wish.
And I think, because I gave Matthew a wish, and at the end of this campaign, he is a genie warlock. He will get like a limited version of wish.
Yeah.
So, like, it depends. If you trust your group and your group aren't fucking trolls, then I agree.
That's the big caveat to it.
They might wish for something, and it might be something that you didn't realize, and it's like, oh my god, they've broken the game, but it's like also kind of awesome. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
If they wish for something horrible and stupid, then no, I don't think you should ever. No.
Yeah. Like the thing is, I'm reading this as in, oh, hey, my players have asked for something and I just don't want to give it to them because I think it's too powerful or it's going against what I thought was going to be asked for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Then you shouldn't have given them wish.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my point. If you even have a doubt, sorry, my dog had his whole foot in his mouth.
He does that sometimes.
Oh the whole thing.
He does that sometimes.
Sorry, I don't know if you would have seen my look of shock. What? What was I saying?
You were saying that, like, if you don't trust.
Oh yeah, no, God, yeah. If you have an inkling that you're going to
regret.
Yeah. Or if like you don't trust your players, or if you're the type of DM where you don't like things going outside of the bounds of what you set, just don't give them wish.
Don't give them wish.
Why, I just don't understand why you would give a group wish when you don't trust them, when you know that they're scallywags, when you know that you don't like
being surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't like things going out of your control as a dungeon master.
Yeah, why would you give them wish?
I would if I'm being honest, wish is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
As a dungeon master, unless you're like last fucking end of the campaign, like to fix something that went wrong.
Which is exactly what Matthew used it for.
Or like what Scanlan was holding wish for in campaign 1, which we all know about, which sadly didn't come true. Like, that's when you should give wish. Yeah. And also, it's a fucking 9th level spell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it should only be done in those really desperate late game circumstances, in my opinion.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
Because, if they're level 1 and you're like, oh, there is a genie that appears to you, and they're like, I want the most powerful fucking weapon in the world. And then you're like, huh.
Yeah. I think wish is something that... Because, man, imagine how annoyed you would be as a player if one person got wish and they were like, oh, I just want to be level 20. And then they used it really selfishly. Yeah. Like, that would be frustrating for everyone. I think wish is something that should be discussed amongst the group.
Probably.
It should be something that is discussed, circumstances depending. Matthews, again, in the first campaign you ran, Dimmy, his character, got wish at the end of it. He actually rolled it on a random table. And I remember he was like, I don't know if I can do this. Can I do this? And we all left the table and you two had a discussion about it and talked about what it was going to be. Thankfully, you kind of already knew what he was going to use it for anyway, right?
Yeah. But, it also, like, the thing is, because I can trust my players, I could give them wish right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'd use it because they'd
we
save
wouldn't.
it for a moment where
We would.
something went horribly wrong. One of them died.
Yeah,
One of them,
exactly.
it wasn't able to come back from death.
Yeah.
One of, I don't know.
Like we made a huge mistake.
You made a huge mistake in the
people
story.
died.
Yeah. People died.
Like a
NPCs
city.
that you
yeah,
love died.
exactly. Like a whole. Like something was destroyed or something like that. Yeah, we wouldn't go, I wish the BBG didn't exist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, that stinks.
Yeah, that
feels
stink.
bad.
That does
I
stink.
understand.
You have to trust them.
It's a valid tactic if you want it to be.
Yeah.
But it fucking feels dreadful.
Yeah.
Wish is a great role-playing, undo a dreadful thing that's happened to you. Agreed. And yes, there are consequences to it and stuff like that. And
or
yes, you can't cast it for a very long time after
help
you've
change
cast
someone's life.
Yeah.
Like, I think just don't give it to your players if you don't trust them. And again, how I'm reading this is, well, I mean, they say, like, don't pull the rug out from someone's feet. Like, if they've come up with a creative, like, solution to something using wish, like, I think you should at least have a conversation about it and consider it. I don't think automatically giving them wish and going, how can I make sure it doesn't come true? You know, that's not right either. That's not right. So,
but also at the same time,
oh yeah, if they're doing fucking dumb shit.
Then if they're like, I want to be the only person left on this world.
Oh yeah.
Then you know, like,
I want the whole world to blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it to get swallowed up by a black hole right now. It's just like, then no, I don't think you should honor it.
No,
but
I agree.
At the same time, you probably shouldn't give them a wish.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
honor it with, if they think of something really creative and really cool, then honor it.
Yep.
And it might change your campaign, but like, we deal with those things as Dungeon Masters.
And
it might be tough, but
sometimes those are the funnest parts, like things happening that no one expected to happen.
But also, we shouldn't be giving out wish very often.
Agreed.
It should probably be like a one-time a campaign thing, if that.
Close to the end.
Max.
Yeah. Once. Oh yeah. I think once. Give them wish once. And I know that you can argue it's a 9th level spell, but like, who's fucking gonna get 9th level spells, realistically?
I mean, like, literally 99.9% of campaigns will never get wish.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I don't think... And that doesn't mean give it to every single party in every campaign.
No.
If it genuinely fits and there's a reason for it, you can give it.
Yeah, for sure. If you trust your players, do it.
But, wish is a nightmare.
Yeah, wish is a nightmare. Yeah, I agree.
In terms of the spell,
I can imagine it must be
it's a nightmare.
Yeah. It's wild, isn't it? The differences in a DM and player here.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is. It comes through. All right, this is the next one.
Go.
Oh my God. I had a fucking iron grip on this iPad.
Yeah.
I'm an iPad kid.
Little raccoon grabby hands.
This is, having cliches in your story actually makes it better. Classically evil BBEGs, simple fetch quests, and one-dimensional side characters are way easier for the average DM to run than their special homebrew world with totally original convoluted story.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't like the wording of the last bit.
I don't like the wording of the last bit.
I don't like the insinuation of how the wording goes in the last half.
Yeah, because they're like, you all think you're fucking original, and you're not.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
And it's like, yes, the tropes are the tropes for a reason.
Yeah.
The bad guys being bad is, good for a reason. The one-dimensional fucking side quest NPCs, the fetch quest, they work.
We understand them as human beings who have consumed media at some point in our life. We understand these tropes. We understand the archetypal characters. We understand the plot lines. And our monkey brains go, I like this.
Me likey this.
Me likey.
Me do likey fetch quest.
Me enjoying this.
Me do likey fetch quest.
We can relate to it and we understand it.
Again, take campaign 1 critical role. Bad guy too strong. Must leave. Do many side quests to get stronger.
Yeah.
Me get artifact magic item.
Yeah.
Me return.
Yeah.
Me kill bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so simple.
Yeah. And, again, we say it all the time. Having cliches isn't a bad thing. Because you hear that, right? You hear, oh, big guy, I have to go do side quests. I get artifact weapon, I come back. That could be any story, but it's not, is it?
No.
Because it's the story that you tell and it's the story that you elaborate on. Every single person's character is going to influence it.
Yeah.
You as the DM is going to influence it. You can run cliches, but run them originally.
Yeah,
not even originally, just fun.
Take those archetypal stories, take those very simple ideas, and then just sprinkle the dust on it.
Yeah.
Sprinkle the flavor,
Yeah.
Add a twist and the turn into that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people who are just brilliant at making fucking stories.
Definitely.
You know.
there's nothing wrong, by the way, with wanting to strive to be original.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's a very normal thing to want, to be different.
Sadly, this is written by somebody who, in my opinion, probably can't think of something like super homebrew and original.
Yeah.
But instead of just accepting that, is just really
Projecting.
pissed off
it's just
the fact.
projecting.
Yeah,
totally.
And which is just unfair. And that's where it becomes a bad opinion.
Yeah.
Because I agree. Those things are brilliant for a
Cliches
reason.
are great. We love
Cliches are
cliches
great.
here. We love them.
My first campaign,
Yeah.
super cliche.
Yeah. We fucking
And
ate that shit
and you ate it
up.
up and you loved it and it was
Yeah,
great and I
loved
really
it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And there's always bad person done wrong, gone into hiding, waited for a long time to reveal their plan.
That's storytelling.
It's just storytelling.
That's storytelling.
Nothing wrong with using those, but
Yep.
if you want to be homebrew and original,
Oh my God,
go for it.
there is nothing wrong with wanting to be original. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do something different. I really fucking hate the whole, ooh, well, you're a special snowflake, aren't you? Ooh, you're trying to be really special. And it's like, of course. Boring. It's like, of course I am.
Of course I am.
Of course I'm trying to be my own person.
Of course I want to write the story that is interesting to me.
Of course, because you know what? If people never tried, there would never be anything new and fun in this world.
Never.
We would have never had the tropes to rely on if people didn't write them in the first place.
What did you think about Lord of the Rings when that was first written? I bet if you were around then, you'd be like, "This is so fucking stupid."
Yeah, no, for real, yeah, for sure.
Innovation becomes the new norm.
Exactly.
Because when you innovate and make something new and fucking cool,
Exactly.
everyone does it because it's fucking fun and cool.
Because it's fun and
then
cool.
it becomes original.
Exactly. I hate the take of, you're so original. It's like, of course,
Alright, you
people want to
boring
be original.
motherfucker.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to do self-expression.
Yeah, and there's also nothing wrong with sticking to what you know.
because I fucking love
it is the thing. There's nothing wrong with either. Yeah. But when you start being a fucking daft
when
lad
you start
about
projecting
it,
your own
when you start being a
insecurities,
fucking idiot about it, that's where it becomes stupid.
I agree. Do you think that's unpopular?
Yeah.
Having cliches in your story make it better? Yeah, I think.
No, in fact, no. I think the whole thing is, I don't think it is popular, but you just sprinkled a bit of asshole at the end. You just took a shit on your own submission right at the end. You were going to say something.
This isn't a submission, by the way. This isn't a submission.
The submission to Reddit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, you were going to say something profound, and then you just had to be a fucking asshole at the end.
All right, this next one.
Yeah.
This is simply, people on this site shouldn't give advice if they haven't actually played the game. What do you think?
Well, it's the same thing though, isn't it? It's like if fucking, Tolkien was to come up to you and be like giving you notes on your story, Tolkien probably never played D&D, but they probably had something decent to say about how the way that you run a story.
Exactly. This literally, I feel like anyone could give advice on anything if it's not like a really specific I think anyone can give advice when it comes to another human being interacting with another human being.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, if you've never played the game, it's like, yeah, but I play Pathfinder. And, there is crossover. We use the same, dice thing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell you how to do an interesting skill check challenge in D&D from Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't played D&D means my information is, useless?
No, not at all. And I also think, you could go to your brother and you could be like, man, my players are smashing me in combat. And he could go, oh, I'll make your monster stronger. Yeah. You know what I mean? He could look at that and objectively go, oh, I'll make your monster stronger.
Yeah. It might not be the best advice.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But he could give advice.
He could give advice. And, especially, I feel like a lot of things on Reddit are the social aspect of D&D. It's what we focus on too, the social aspect of it. Of, this person's done this, how do I deal with it? And, so many people are going to be like, talk to them. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think just because you're not actually playing the game doesn't mean you can't give sound advice.
No.
Of course. They're probably not going to be able to give you advice on things like how to put your stats in or how to build your character. The mechanics of it.
Yeah, if it's really specific 5e mechanics.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, if it's just general TTRPG advice, then why shouldn't somebody who hasn't played that system not be able to? Why does somebody who's a brilliant... if what's his name? Brandon Sanderson comes to you and he's like, oh, yeah. I think that you should do this with your story. It's just I'm going to probably take that advice.
Yeah.
Just because the guy hasn't played Dungeons and Dragons, which I think he probably might have. But, if I would take storytelling advice from somebody like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I am getting the undertone of this being like, fucking people shouldn't butt their heads in when it's like people are giving like advice like, well, you should have fucking done this. You know what I mean? In which case I agree, because unsolicited advice stinks like shit.
Unconstructive advice that is just meant to be harmful. Well, you're a fucking idiot. I can't believe you did it like that. It's like, you shouldn't be given any advice if that's the way you're approaching it.
And I feel like the unsolicited advice, it's kind of like I don't know. Like if someone's playing a game and someone's posted something on Reddit being like, oh, well, I have this build and I have that. And they're going, oh, why aren't you doing it like this? And they've never played the game and they don't understand the social construct of playing the game. I think, shut the fuck up.
Unsolicited advice
is the worst.
It's so annoying.
Oh my God, it's the actual worst.
And do you know what? It's probably one of the cringiest things to watch.
I know it
like
is.
Watching somebody give advice when literally no one asked.
Yeah,
it's painful.
I know. And the thing is, you can actually want to do it out of a genuine wanting to help someone.
Yeah, goodness of your heart.
Yeah, definitely. But we all know that person who tries to fucking pretend that they're smarter than you and try to tell you how to do something when you haven't fucking asked.
Yeah.
And it's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unpopular at all, though.
Do you not?
No, I don't think it's unpopular at all.
Yeah, I think if you actually think about it, it is. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think that's unpopular. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. This next one is unpopular opinion. I hate when party members steal from shopkeepers. Disclaimer. If everyone's on board and thieving from shopkeepers and or it's an evil and or heist campaign, go ahead. I'm not mad at anyone in particular. There's always exceptions. But the DM asks what everyone wants to do. You ask to steal from the shopkeep. The other players are wanting to move on or haggling. Your character says, Steely McSteelface nabs some stuff for no reason. I feel like it's just a waste of party and DM time. The DM wants to run the campaign, not come up with the consequences for you being a dumbass. Perception stats for a random NPC. What happens when you get caught and putting the whole party in hot water?
Yeah.
Guess what? You're all in trouble now. Sorry, we need to jailbreak this character because they got caught. Guess the DM has to prepare more stuff and sack their current play sessions. You could be fighting the BBEG right now, and yet you chose to steal something from some random dude because you were bored. DMs and players, feel free to give your own opinion. I'm wondering if this is just a personal pet peeve of mine or if others share the same sentiment. Too long didn't read. I think it's disrespectful to the party and the DM's time and effort.
So, man, this is such a tough one. This is such a tough one because, like, if you've got a party, if you've got a game, if you run a table that is sandbox, do what you want, like open world, anything can happen. Then they probably will enjoy like now you have to jailbreak and everyone's like, oh, that's on super fun. But if you've got like a more linear story where you know your dungeon master's got like something planned, a story to tell, and then you start fucking around just stealing for the sake of stealing, and then you do get in trouble, and then they have to. Because then at the end of the day, the dungeon master will probably be like, we just fuck it off and you somehow get out.
Exactly.
And then they're like, oh, I'm going to do it again because they can get away with it. And then that's annoying.
It's a fine line. Because you're like, man, there has to be consequences.
Of course it does.
There has to be. But then I can't be fucking bothered. Exactly like OP's saying here. I can't be fucking bothered to work out what the consequences are. Yeah. Because it's a waste of my time, quite frankly.
And effort,
and I think this is so much worse in groups where the communication isn't 100%. Like, if the DM feels like they have to entertain everything the players want to do, which is a common thing. I think that DMs think they have to do.
Yeah.
They have to entertain what their players want.
Nope.
If this happened to you, you would literally above table be like, we're not doing this. Why are we doing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I will, because I can't be fucking asked to run a trial about the fact that you stole. I can't be asked to get the fucking bobbies in here, arresting you, putting cuffs on you, and then like taking you to jail, and then like doing a trial, and now you're never allowed in this town again when this was supposed to be the hub of the campaign.
Exactly.
That is a fucking complete waste of my time. And the thing is, if a player wanted to do that at my table, they are just the wrong player. They are just the wrong player for me.
Precisely. And I, by the way, DMs, I don't think there's anything wrong with above table. If things are happening like this and your game specifically isn't like a sandbox, do whatever you want, like this is something that you know is very disruptive, there's nothing wrong with going above table and being like, why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? Yeah.
What are you trying to gain out of this? Is there something that you actually really want out of this? Because if there is, we can consider it. But if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it,
just, like,
why are you? We're not.
Isn't even a thief.
Like, I'm not entertaining this at all.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
But that also comes from very strong communication.
Very open and honest communication.
Yeah, exactly. And you could do that with our group because we've all been friends for fucking years.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm your wife. You know.
And I just I think It is disrespectful, in my opinion. But at the same time, there's tables out there.
Oh, that fucking love this shit.
That love it.
Yeah, totally.
Like the Dungeon Master is not a big planner.
Yeah.
They're just happy to like go with what happens in the session.
Yeah.
And then a scenario like this crops up, and they're rubbing their hands together, and they're like,
exactly.
Sick.
Exactly.
Like, I can't wait to try and catch this motherfucker. If I don't, the shopkeeper sees something that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And then there's an investigation in the town about who stole the medallion of 1,000 secrets.
Yeah.
And then you're like, like that can work at a table.
Yeah.
But like, if you're at a table that doesn't want this, doing it can be disrespectful.
And I think that this is a really important thing to bring up in session 0 too.
100%.
Bring like not even necessarily the stealing thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just bringing up what the vibe of the campaign is, what is in the bounds and what isn't in the bounds. You know what I mean?
You can have a thief at your table.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, look at Not the Brave. Like, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
At so many moments, and it was great. And Jester was an absolute chaos gremlin as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can have chaotic characters and thieves in the party, and yes, not every single time when they get caught like thieving, it has to go to like having the hands chopped off in the court.
Exactly. Yeah.
So as long as everyone's happy and enjoying themselves, it doesn't matter.
Agreed. What do you think? Do you think this is unpopular?
No,
I don't either. I don't think this is unpopular
at all.
No, me neither. I agree. What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you
think?
Oh my god, tell me.
And it's like it's the same thing as before, where like, I was going off on a little bit of a tangent, where like characters have almost died in session 2 of mine, and I've been like, I fudged the dice because I didn't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, oh yeah, but then you could have done like the God of Mercy and Redemption shines the light down on them, and then they get a second chance, and now they owe the God. It's just like, I've got a story to tell her. I don't want to do that.
That's absolutely not my wheelhouse.
That sounds boring. That sounds boring. That sounds so boring to me.
And that,
a can of worms that I am not looking to open up.
But like, so many people would fucking love that.
Yeah, and that's
so
great.
many people would love that. You? No.
Me?
Us?
Bored.
No.
Instantly bored.
Us? Instantly bored.
Instantly bored. If I had to try to do that for my table, my players would be like, shouldn't we be like doing the main campaign? Shouldn't we be like following the story? And I'm like, yeah.
We'd feel terrible.
Yeah.
We would feel awful as players that was the situation. You know what I mean? But again, that's something that's so fucking subjective. Like, so subjective.
If the cleric of the group does follow that God, then maybe.
Yeah.
If my party team, I'm just not gonna let my party team begin around in session 2 because I didn't know how to balance combats in my second ever session.
Agreed.
I'm not gonna make up some fucking bullshit
agreed.
for no reason.
Agreed. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 left. Fucking hell! Good God, there's 5.
Okay. There's rocket.
5. So you don't have to worry about getting your shoes on yet.
You're okay. Sit back down.
You sit. Go on.
Don't stand up.
Don't
click
sit,
pause.
please.
What are you doing pause for? Stop it. Okay.
All right. This next one. A lot of out of combat spells that just flat out work should require dice checks instead. I'm talking about things like identify.
Identity. I cast identity on myself.
Cast and then roll Arcana as something to see if you can make sense of the whoosh of knowledge that just entered your brain. Detect magic. Cast and then roll Perception to see if you can spot the places where you might see the magic. Remove Curse. Cast and then roll to see if you can grapple the curse. Better yet, let other characters help you lower the DC by providing incense or rhythmic drumming, or holding the character down while they curse you, while the curse is trying to fight you while they curse you. Fuck off. To fight your magic, etc.
Okay. I can see this working in some instances.
I can too, honestly. Yeah,
I can see this working in some instances.
Yeah, I can.
And I think like it's the moment in the campaign where you're a new dungeon master and this curse has befallen the BBEG, and your players learn about the curse, and then they come to like face to face with the BBEG, and then the cleric goes, dispel curse. and then as a dungeon master you sat there like,
oh fuck.
And you're like, I don't think it is. And it's just like, not every tool is right for every job.
Yes,
like,
definitely.
The curse is too strong.
Yes,
the curse
yes,
fights back.
yes.
Like, yeah, I get there's some. I don't think we should do it for every single thing. If a wizard has a magical item that is like almost like an enigma, and it like changes in their hands, and is really like obviously like a really strange magic item from not this world, then as soon as they cast detect magic on it, they're not going to get everything about it. They might need to do it like multiple times. They might roll an investigation check at the same time. I get that. But if they pick up a +1 short sword and they're like, I cast
Yeah.
identify, and you're like, roll me an investigation, they roll an actual 1, they can't identify a +1 weapon.
Yeah,
that's just making it hard for no reason.
I think it's very, very much scenario specific, like
Agreed.
you said. Because, I can see things, and I can see our table enjoying something like this too. Like enjoying the roll to remove curse. It's very similar to making like a revivify check for us, because you use Matt Mercer's rules as opposed to like the standard. They just
It just works.
back. Yeah, exactly. I can see our table specifically really enjoying this, but again, only in certain circumstances. If we've picked up a new magic item, we should be able to just cast identify. Honestly, even with detect magic, I think there's if we wanted to detect something specifically and we had to make a perception check with it after we've expended the use of it, although I understand detect magic's ritual casting, right? It would still be frustrating.
But you can use a spell slot.
To cast it immediately. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I think it's very scenario specific, and I don't think you can ever cut and dry say you only use it here and you don't use it there.
I think it's scenario specific, like you said. Like if you pick up an artifact of a long gone age and you cast detect magic on it, it's like, you get like these surface level abilities from the magic item, but like as you begin to attune to the weapon and use it and it draws blood for the first time, it shows like these new things that it can do. Like that's super cool.
I agree, and I feel like detect magic is so weird.
Why?
I don't know. I think detect magic's just so... You can either get a really, really clear idea, or you have fucking no idea at all.
And it's also like only a 30-foot range as well, I think. So it's all about just like what's in your...
It centers on you.
Yeah.
You can move.
I think it's scenario specific.
Yeah.
And I think just it's the same with everything. Just trying to be like this rule fits all.
With
TTRPGs, and every scenario that you're in is just so hard to do.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
And I love this. I think
I do as well.
The idea of this, of like adding skill checks into things when they're quite hard scenarios, is brilliant. Would I do it for a +1 magic item? No.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Use your own discernment.
Can you dispel the curse off the BBG that's making them kill everyone? No, because that would be too fucking easy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, of course.
I get it, but not every single time.
Yeah. Do you think this is unpopular?
No, because I think most people would also apply that general knowledge to it as well.
Yes. I agree.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I never know. I can never decide if I think they're unpopular or not.
Our one thing fits, because the thing is, it's like dispel magic just works. Identify just works.
Yeah.
Do we think that's good? No.
Yeah.
Do I think this is better? Yes.
Yes.
Would I use it all the time?
No.
Yeah.
So,
It's tough. It's tough.
I agree.
Unpopular? I wouldn't say so.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Say so.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you reckon? Huh? Would your table like something like this? Because to be honest, I can see a lot of tables being frustrated with this, and not liking it like at all. Full stop.
But it's a curse. I should be able to dispel it.
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but like sometimes
you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. Yeah, I agree. All right. This next one is simply puzzles and riddles suck. They test the players, not the characters.
Okay.
Go on.
So, man, puzzles can be great, and riddles maybe not so much, because like if people are just bad at riddles, they're just bad at rizzles. But rizzles.
Rizzles. If you don't got the riz,
you ain't got the riz. Never mind the rizzles. If you have given some knowledge about a puzzle that they have to figure out down the line, and you are good at like feeding information, and the clues are there, I think puzzles can be brilliant, but they're fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
They're hard to create an engaging puzzle.
You know what? On the surface level, I actually fully agree with this. On the surface level you know what? I think I'm getting caught up on the riddle part of it.
Yeah.
Because, oh my fucking God.
I've done a few riddles, and they're dreadful at every single one. We're so bad at them.
And riddles specifically test the player.
Yeah,
and like, you know, I like doing riddles. I'm bad at them. I'm really bad at them. We didn't get them right at all. We had to get you to tell us.
You've never got one right.
We've never gotten a riddle right. No. Never.
And then as a dungeon master, you're sort of just at a standstill.
Yeah, exactly.
If you haven't given the prerequisite information for the puzzle or the riddle to be successful, you're fucking stuck.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, I can't just give you the answer, because then, you know, how did you get it?
Yeah. Now puzzles.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the one that you did in your campaign too, with like the blood braziers, and we had to put blood into the braziers for them to like connect. Like, that was a puzzle. We had to work out how to do that. It was when we fought. No, it was the first campaign. Sorry, pardon me. When the Rakshasa was there the whole time. And we had to cut our hands and put them into the braziers.
Can't remember, but okay.
And they drained into the floor, and they all pulled together, and they made that big blood serpent.
Ah, yes.
So, you know, that was... Sorry, I thought that was campaign 2. It was campaign 1. In that puzzle, that was a great puzzle because you gave us all the requirements up front. You made it very clear, there's dried blood on these things. Oh, there's a draining thing. Oh, it's to do with vampires. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that was a puzzle that felt really good because you gave us all the information and we understood what we had to do.
Yeah,
it was hard to do
bit by bit, I give you the information. And thing is, for me, I've learned as we've gone on, my party really enjoy, like, physical puzzles, physical challenges, like skill check challenges and things like that. That's what you guys really enjoy.
Yes. I enjoy the mental ones. I enjoy the slow burn because I'm the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, but they usually have a physical element to it.
Yeah.
And like I remember in that thing, there was vines hanging from the roof.
Yeah.
And as you were swinging, like you would get caught to these things that would suck you up into the roof.
Yeah.
Like the overall puzzle had many like little physical skill challenges in it.
Yeah.
And man, there's a brilliant guy on YouTube called Wally DM, and he does a fuck ton of like he does like videos about puzzles.
Yeah.
And they're all like they aren't just like you're in a room and there's a door. It's like you're in a room, there's a door, but there's another room down here that you'll do this and then that'll unlock this thing and then it'll also give you a clue for the room that's over there. Like he's brilliant at them.
Yeah.
He does a book of them. If you want to figure out some puzzles, go to his channel. He's great. Figure out if your party even fucking like it. Because the thing is, I can guarantee this opinion has come from, you've tried to run some.
Yeah.
You may be just not very naturally gifted at doing them.
Yeah, which, by the way, once again, is a skill.
They're fucking hard.
Is a skill.
I find them really hard to come up with creative ones.
And you have to know your party.
Yeah.
You have to know, and you know, in terms of magic, if you have magic users as well, you have to know what magic they have.
Yeah.
So they could... Let's say something relied on something like identify, you know what I mean? Someone with identify could easily just do it. And it's also managing your expectation of how they're going to complete the puzzle versus how they actually do the puzzle.
So a little thing that I actually ended up coming up with in my first campaign, and I very quickly realized that that's how I do all puzzles now, is I will just give you a problem and I will not figure out a solution.
Yep. And we just work it out.
And when the party say something clever enough or say something where they've used enough resources to figure it
something
out.
That makes sense.
And then they'll be like, oh yeah, I go here and I do this and I cast this and then it gives me this and then I go back and I'm like, the door opens.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's I don't think about how it's going to solve itself.
I
just put a challenge in front of them and then they figure it out.
And again, there will be DMs who fucking hate having to do that. And there will be players who hate that as well. There's people who can't read between the lines of, this situation, I can do this, but then I can't do that. And then people struggle not seeing the black and white of it all. But, you know, that works for us because we can just fucking do loads of weird shit. And then we feel really good for it.
Puzzles and riddles suck. I don't think that's fair. And I think that's unpopular.
Yeah. Except
I think there are dungeon masters who just aren't very good at running puzzles.
Me, we have played in games with puzzles that were absolutely dog shit.
Dreadful.
And it's
horrible.
Because we had to use our own human brain minds, taking logic that we know in the real world into a game. Like relying on our ability to do like mathematics. And stuff like that.
Ain't fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That isn't fun. But like using puzzles with in-game knowledge, like knowledge of like, I don't know, you could have like a thing that's like you can't get past until you answer these questions. What's the day of the week in this world called? And then because somebody wrote all the days of the week down, or what's the king of this country called? And then because you like know those things, like that rewards in-game knowledge.
Yeah, separating your players' characters from your players' minds is hard to do as well in terms of knowledge. I'm like speaking like
if the puzzle or the riddle is to do with person knowledge, I agree that isn't great.
It's like, do you remember we saw that one where it's like, oh, you have to, I say this thing to you in Chinese and you have to be able to recant it perfectly, but that's completely up to the player not the character.
Yeah, not the character. Oh, I roll a intelligence check to remember the quote perfectly. Great. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. But the player having to literally recite it after hearing it once perfectly back to you.
If you can do a puzzle with in-game knowledge, puzzles are great. If you can do a riddle with in-game knowledge, riddles are great. If you're relying on the person,
totally,
they do so.
Yeah, and that's such a fine line, by the way. Such a fine line. But good on all you DMs who can do your puzzles well.
Yeah.
And good on all your players who can
figure them out.
Yep. Because God knows sometimes we
Because
can't.
there's two sides to that.
All right. This is the third to last. This is your warning.
You get ready.
Get ready.
Prepare
This is
yourselves.
the third to last.
It's going to be a mad rush.
So it is the DM's job to provide a setting, communicate that setting effectively to the players, and then adjudicate the results of the player's actions. It is the player's responsibility to create a character relevant to that setting and be willing to participate with the other characters in the adventure. The DM has better uses of their creative resources than spending a couple of hours trying to figure out why each of the 5 lone wolves would want to cooperate for some random MacGuffin.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I think that's actually worded
brilliantly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's the Dungeon Master's job to come up with the setting.
Yep.
And like the quests.
Why you're here.
Yep. No, I don't think that. I think it's the fucking player's job to say why you're here.
Why the character's there.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
why you like this specific setting in this world is happening.
Yeah,
And why you're here, like
why you're relevant
in the grand
at this
scheme of the
time
world.
in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Totally
Why
agreed.
you're here is up to the player entirely.
Yeah, and it's up to you to get along with each other.
Yes.
To find a reason to travel together.
Certainly.
And, find a reason to want to do this fucking thing.
Certainly.
Because if you don't, the Dungeon Master has far more better things than to try and get your fucking 5 lone wolves
to get along with each other.
To get along.
And
because they can't do that.
That's not saying as well that the DM, you, for example, you've intertwined all of our characters' stories so much, but you did that because you wanted to and because you saw moments in our backstories that link with each other.
Because you gave me backstories that tied with
exactly
the setting that we're in.
Exactly.
I could do those tyings.
Yeah. But if we gave you fucking, I don't know, whatever the fuck, and they were all completely not even based in this world, and you had to then work out why we were all together, like, that's just not your job.
No. I got so many other things to do that aren't fucking getting you guys to fucking get along.
Yeah,
that's your job.
That's 100% your job. Like, why your character doesn't just turn around at the end of every day and want to go home. Like, why they're still out here.
That's on you.
Yeah, I agree.
You need to make sure you have that reason.
I agree. And being, just being willing to participate is 90% of the job, I think. Being willing to take your DM's hooks, being willing to, again, suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Like, if anything, the Dungeon Master should also make you want to turn around and go home because it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
Like, it isn't going to be easy. It's going to be scary.
Yeah.
It's your job to find the reason to stay.
Yeah.
They might give you the plot hook good enough for you to want to.
Yes.
But you need to find a reason.
And, get along with NPCs as well. That's obviously very table dependent, how integrated NPCs are.
Yeah.
But, to not want to go and fucking just kill the NPC.
Kill the NPCs who are people.
Yeah. To be able to just fully participate in the world. I think participating is genuinely one of the biggest issues, especially for fucking lone wolves. And you can play lone wolves. They have to get along with the party. I feel like this
is I think it's very popular.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Popular.
Agreed. I feel like this encapsulates everything we say about this as well.
Yeah. Agreed.
In 3 paragraphs.
Yeah. Said very well.
Yeah. Agreed.
Brilliant.
I agree. I completely agree with this.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic little Reddit post.
Username He Who Rocks.
You do. You do be rocking though. You be rocking pretty hard.
All right. Are you ready?
Penultimate.
This is the penultimate. Yeah, you've got 2 left. And you've got 2 feet. Check that out.
One now, one in the last one. Yeah. Put your shoes on. The train's leaving. Train's leaving the station.
Yeah. Yeah, so you Doc Martens uses your left behind. Slip-on shoes, you're fine.
Let's go.
So, this is hot take. I would much rather my DM ban an option that I was looking into rather than let me play it and then work around it.
100%.
Sometimes working around it feels like making it useless, but without telling me that you were going to do so.
Yep.
And then I can't switch it out. Is every town guard and bandit going to know the trip attack battle maneuver and in the world going to be constantly bad weather that makes it difficult to fly in? And you didn't inform me of this before I chose to play an Owlin. Please just tell me you don't allow flying characters from the get-go instead and let me find something else that I think is fun.
100%.
God, 100%.
If you're going to ban something, don't just let somebody play something and shit on them every single time
God.
they try and use
Oh
it.
my God. Just, you know what? And I know the whole conversation of,
Don't ban.
Don't ban
Adjust.
things. It is a big thing. But if you know, and how many times have we said it?
Mm.
If you know that you're going to have problems with it, talk to the player and just say it.
Just say, I'm a first-time dungeon master. You being a flying character scares the life out of me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it. Can you play something that's not an Aarakocra?
I've had bad experiences with it. I've heard really bad things, and I'm just not comfortable doing it.
Could we play something else?
Just, exactly.
Don't just, like, every single time they try to take off, you roll and it's like, oh my God, there's a gale force wind, there's a tornado running through.
Feels so bad.
You have to get back on the ground, otherwise you're going to get swept away and die. It's like, just say you're not ready for it. Feels so bad.
Agreed completely. And there's no shame in that. And again, the whole like banning things from a table, like I think you should always try talk to the person and make it clear why you want to and see if you can come to some sort of agreement, right? Like 9 times out of 10, that conversation is going to end favorably.
Far better than not having it.
Just don't have it.
Yeah.
And again, we've seen this happen and it stinks.
Smells.
It smells
like beef and shit.
Yeah, it smells really, really bad. And the idea of like, oh, I'll just work around it. That feels, even if you don't mean it to, by the way.
For the player?
Yeah.
Dreadful.
That feels very DM versus player.
Dreadful.
And then especially if you've gone, I'll allow it. And then you don't actually let them do any of the things specifically relating to that. That feels terrible.
Fucking dreadful.
That feels so
fucking
bad.
dreadful.
Yeah.
Like for the player who like gets excited, oh man, I can't wait to like fly and show the party and stuff like that. And then every time they try and do it, you just like bat them down. It's just like, just talk, because you're making such a horrible atmosphere by doing things like this.
Yeah. Even if you don't mean to, and I know saying no is hard. It's so hard.
But it's better than this.
Yeah, and you think I think a lot of people don't do it out of malice. They do it going, oh, I'll figure it out. But then when it comes to the moment, and maybe you don't even realize every time you're saying no, and you don't realize every single time you're putting a block in, but the player will fucking certainly 100%. Notice. Always definitely notice.
This is popular.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say this is popular.
I think so too.
Popular.
I agree. All right. Oh my God.
We've got the last one. My dog's real upset.
Dog is real upset.
He's real hungry.
I think it's
time.
It's time. Don't say it out loud. Hey, you.
Don't say the T word out loud.
Do not say it out loud.
Even though I just technically said it.
Oh goodness, he is looking. He's looking at us.
So
just so you know, he's behind you.
Yeah, he's behind you looking at us.
He's looking at us.
He's staring at me.
So
let's get it.
This final one is real D&D usually sucks because it normally devolves into some awful improv, and there is nothing worse than sitting through bad improv. Maybe bamboo shoots under the toenails, but bad improv is a close second. Right. Yeah, look, some of us aren't born to be actors. Yeah, we have to cut our teeth somehow.
But we have to cut our teeth somehow.
Yeah.
But like, I would literally watched a TikTok the other day by, I can't remember what TikTok it was, but they were like, somebody was like, my worst experience at a Dungeons and Dragons table is critters role-playing like Critical Role.
Oh my God, it was the ADHD 20 podcast.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
And
yeah.
Like, look, I love Critical Role, but I get it. I get it because it's like some people just don't look to Dungeons and Dragons for that. Some people, Matthew, oh my God, he could sit and roleplay all day.
Oh yeah,
and make up fucking things and go and buy bread.
Oh yeah,
and literally roleplay his entire day as a character. And he would love that. Oh yeah, live for it. Live for those shenanigans.
Yeah.
Me? Never.
Yeah,
Never.
I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, but the bad improv thing, man, we all have to learn how to do it somehow.
I get it.
And what better place to do it than
around the table with your mates.
In a safe space, I would like to hope, with your friends. And hey, I agree. Hey, we've all seen Amdram. We've probably all been part of Amdram.
And
all right?
It's tough to watch.
It is tough to watch.
And it can be tough to watch. And look, is everyone going to be the master role player as soon as they sit at the table? When they're trying a new voice, they've never played Dungeons & Dragons before, they're nervous. Is the improv going to be bad? No. Potentially.
It's and when you get someone trying to do like their best Joker impression, that's going to stink.
And you're watching it and
that's going to hurt.
You're going,
that's going to hurt. That's really going to hurt.
You're like asking. You've made a pact with the devil in that moment where devil, split the ground open and drag me to hell in this moment, because I would rather burn for an eternity than sit through the rest of this Joker impression. But we have to.
Yeah, and
we have to learn somehow.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, all jokes aside, yes, of course it can be cringy. I honestly believe that the act of improv can be cringy. It can be. Even now, I am certain there's been things that I've role played and people have been like, you know what I mean? I'm certain of it. Like, that's just how it is, because that's a normal human reaction.
Yeah.
But we all have to learn how to do it.
We all have to learn how to improv somehow.
And some people are never going to be able to be good at it.
And that's
some
it,
people
like,
will not be able to learn that skill. And that is also very normal.
Role playing is improving.
Yeah.
Because none of it is like set out in stone.
No.
You don't plan the session before the beginning.
Yeah.
You don't plan out what's going to happen and things like that. So like when we learn new information, we talk to each other about it, and like all these scenarios that we're put into and how it makes your character feel is improvisation.
Yeah.
Are some people better than others? Yes.
Naturally.
Are some people bad at it?
Yes.
Does it matter?
No.
You just got to be at a table that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, totally. Like your friends aren't going to give a fuck.
You might think it's cringe, but Margaret might not.
Yeah.
You might think it's cringe, but Matthew might not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and you know, like, and different levels of tables different tables will have different levels of roleplay, which means different levels of improv. So, you know, like my table, improvs constantly. They love roleplay. Roleplay is like I said, Matthew fucking could sit there and roleplay all day if he had to.
Honestly, D&D is such a good improv tool. It really is. Like, you know, I can't think of many other scenarios that are like a safer, like funner way, you know, assuming that you're playing in like a safe space with safe people and your friends, like to be able to learn improv, honestly, because some people are naturally better at it, but some people have to learn it. I mean, everyone has to learn it. Think about us. We've gotten so much better with improv as we've gone. We didn't start out being amazing. I don't think we started off being terrible. No, but
we didn't. We weren't anywhere near what we are now.
Exactly.
So, you know,
sit through the Joker impressions.
Door.
No, sit through it.
Just get up and leave. Just walk away.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been that person.
And somebody's staring at you. Doing it, and you're like,
but
please, let it end.
Yeah, or you know, and then there could be someone watching you do it and being like, "That's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen." It's really cool,
yeah. Like you're doing a really good job. It's different strokes for different folks, isn't it?
We've been that person and we've witnessed that person. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say, and that's the joy of D&D.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think? That's the joy of D&D.
Because the thing is, I bet you some people roleplay around this person and they're like, "Oh, that was sick." Yeah. But because somebody does it in a different style or with different mannerisms, they're like, "Well, that was cringe."
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just different tables, good for different people.
Indeed. And that's that. Do you think that's unpopular?
What was the actual?
I've shut the document. Oh
that
no!
Was fucking stupid, wasn't it?
Real D&D sucks because it usually devolves into awful improv.
What is real D&D?
Yeah, I know. Agreed.
Yeah, that's a bit silly.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a silly opinion.
You know what? That was a bit of a funny one to end on.
It was a bit of a funny one.
That was a bit of a funny one.
Well,
have you ever had any cringe roleplay moments? I'd like to know.
Tell me about them. All about them.
You have no idea how much I want to know.
In the comments below, do your best Joker impression.
No, please, no.
Type out how you do your Joker impression.
No, I don't want to know.
And
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Record yourself doing it and send it in the Discord.
Don't. Fucking don't do that.
Okay. I really need the toilet.
Yeah.
So I need to go.
I'm
my
hungry.
dog is really upset as well. So, like, comment, subscribe, bell. Merch. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Entity t-shirt. Logo hoodies on there now.
Yeah.
Go pick up the fresh threads.
Follow us on Twitch. We live stream every Friday and every Sunday.
7 p.m. GMT.
It's just this,
but we don't have to keep on. You know when we go off on the most ridiculous tangents and you're really enjoying it, but we have to be like, right, let's fucking. We just stay on them.
We just stay on them.
Ride that wave hard.
And you enable us.
Yes. So. And we eat all sorts of
weird
disgusting food.
Yep.
Sometimes tasty food.
But
mostly disgusting food. And it's very funny.
Yeah.
So come and join us.
Yeah.
And we will do some D&D content at some point in the stream, I promise. Yeah. And our Hellbound star is down below. Code Podblast at checkout will get you 10% off. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you. We've been the Eldritch Podblast. And we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.